I feel like a bruised turd. Thanks to a very special person in my life. Taking me out, showing me a good time last night, all the way from South Africa. Rad Robertson. How you doing, little buddy?
Awesome, Kev. Awesome.
You know, the question everyone is always dying to ask. How do you get that good deal on those tactical distributor pants you're wearing?
Unpossible 15 gets you 15% off these epic pants. Amazing. I don't know where the socks came from, but
So what do you like about these pants?
These pants, zips are flush,
zips,
flush zips, nice and tight. They're a little bit thicker. So biggest thing though, they're not that like canvas material where they like when you're walking they're all loud and yeah. No, I hate that.
Yeah, that's no good. That's not tactical.
No,
so
not
that
at
would
all.
be from untactical distributors. You get pants like that.
And you're definitely not getting 15% off, that's for sure. So yeah, and then the other pants that we have, because you know, like real tough dudes always like a little bit embarrassed to wear knee pads, and you've seen the environment we hunt in, so you can just slip them in there.
You know what's shocking to me about knee pads?
What's that?
The volume of knee pads that Jay has. Why does he have so many knee pads? I don't know. I think he's got a sore throat, so he's not here today. What does that you say? Rougher than goat's knees? That's what.
Yeah,
Jay's
rougher than a goat's knee.
Oh, I miss Jay, so I'm gonna talk shit about him. Fuck that guy. Radcliffe. So we tacked the squeakies last night. Oh my God.
Squeaked the tackies.
What the fuck ever, man.
You said you look rougher than a goat's knee this morning, though.
I feel like it. I wear my sunglasses. It's so bright in here. Yeah, so we got after it.
We did.
Not a lot to do here with this obnoxious amount of snow we got going.
Well, I hope someone just puts a picture on of what's going on outside because it's cold.
It's so cold.
It's a shitstorm out there.
Well, it's a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the shits.
It is shit, I agree. Because we should be out there shooting again today.
Can you imagine this was like the early 1900s and we had no heat? I'd be bundled up. I'd look like the fucking Oros man.
To be as tough and incredible as you are, like, I mean, you are quite the adventure companion. I want to give you props there, but you are a huge pussy when it comes to the cold. Like all of your skin's made of vagina.
And who doesn't like a vagina?
The Tiger King.
Yo, that's rough. Did you watch the second one of those?
No.
It's fucking
it made
crazy.
me feel dirty just being I don't know.
I can't even believe
Almost just like made me ashamed of being a white man watching that. Like, that was horrible. That show was impossible to watch.
Well, if you watch the second one, I can't believe this shit actually goes on. Like, it's insane. They're all batshit crazy. The whole fucking lot of them.
Rick James' cousin said that meth is a hell of a drug.
I thought you were talking about Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby?
Ricky Bobby. If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. Yeah. I did go barefoot in the snow yesterday.
It was one of the more ridiculous things I've seen you do. Unnecessarily.
Because you called me out, though.
Well, you were
Ask Mitch.
Quite a pussy.
I was in the snow barefoot.
Not when I called you out. You were in by the fire whining like a little girl when I called you out.
I wasn't. I was just drying my feet off, so I had some traction before we lit those targets up.
So, all right. So we've spent the better part of a month together here.
Mm-hmm.
So I left a month ago. We got back a couple of days ago, I guess, or I don't even know what day it is. But went to the Dallas Safari Club show. Met you and Andrew there. We hung out. You guys went to Florida to see a client, had a good time.
Yeah.
So you got to enjoy some nice weather. And then we met up in Vegas, went to SHOT Show, and you were doing the Safari Club International.
That's it.
And then we went to see a client of yours in Utah, Brett, nicest guy.
He is.
Got it. So this guy's brother is like this incredible aerobatic pilot. It does, gets paid to perform, and he's sponsored by like Lucas Oil or someone.
Yeah, Lucas Oil, that's it.
And so, speaking of being a huge pussy, I was a little bit afraid to go. I was not feeling my best. But anyway, Rad loves flying as a pilot. And I just like to fly to get somewhere, basically. And so he took Rad up in this little plane. Unbelievable.
Oh, no, he's a machine. He knows what he's doing.
It was terrifying, just watching it. So that was good. So we went there, and then what did we do? Then we flew to Atlanta, picked my truck up, new truck, sweet truck, and drove all the way to New Hampshire. And I'm just wrecked, totally wrecked. And then all the dudes were so excited to see you here, they completely wrecked us. And I can't wait to finish this and go to bed, basically.
They did wreck us.
It was a long month. You're about to, so it's the off season for hunting in Africa, but you're about to get back after it.
Yeah, we are. Well, I mean, this time next year, there's like, I've already figured out, you don't know it yet, but next year, Dallas Safari Club, regular time. Then SCR, for whatever known reason, has decided to move it to the 22nd of February. So I got like 6 weeks between Dallas and SCR.
Oh, so we're going to go on some hunts and stuff.
So we're going to fly after DSC. We're going to be flying our asses to Cameroon, and we're going to go shoot ourselves a Lord Derby eland.
Oh, I'm going with.
Yeah, you shooting.
Oh, that is so awesome. So that's when the dates are going to work out, Lord Derby.
Yeah, so we're going to do Lord Derby beginning of next year, sort of like end of Jan, beginning of Feb. And then after that hunt, we can fly back here together. I'll just leave my clothes, yeah.
Yeah.
And we go there, we go hunt, and then fly back. And then we do Safari Club.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to post a picture, but those that don't know, the Lord Derby eland, that's kind of like, it's like the goat hunt. I mean, we're going to have to start fishing after that in the bongo. I don't know what else we're going to go around the world and hunt. We're kind of running out of stuff.
Leave that up to me.
Because we by the time when this airs, we'll probably actually be in Africa trying to shoot an elephant.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little nervous about this one.
I wouldn't be.
Yeah, maybe I'm just trying to build the drama, but
Well, you are the queen. It's okay.
oh.
Shots fired.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to do, speaking of shots fired, yesterday, so we take your spoiled ass to the range and you shot everything. I mean, you shot the honey badger, you shot the sugar weasel, you shot 8.6, you shot full auto, you shot the MP5 SD, you shot 8.6 gas gun, you shot everything.
Shot everything.
I gotta, as much as I don't want to compliment you, you can shoot.
Well, I mean, it's the guns, it's not me.
Yeah, I believe that. So
Shit, threw a compliment your way and you snatched that thing up and ran with it.
spiked it. Bam.
Well, I'll tell you what, yes, that yesterday was phenomenal. Like,
Yeah? What were the highlights for you?
oh man, literally the best trick ever made. Is so crisp, so sweet. It was phenomenal. And then shooting the first 8.6 gas gun, it's a machine.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, the minute that thing lands in South Africa,
Yeah.
I need a new boat anchor, so I'm going to be just taking my Daniel Defense and tossing that fucking thing right to the front of the boat, and we'll be gone with that thing.
Oh.
Cannot
I
wait.
like it.
Get the honey badger. Don't know what the name is for the gas gun 8.6, but we'll figure it out. But I know where my other gun's going.
Man, we've killed some stuff with 8.6.
We have.
Oh.
It's been pretty epic for something that was developed and didn't really know what it was going to do. It was phenomenal.
I mean, the 8.6 is no joke. I mean, seeing the things that we've done with it now. I mean, whether it's the 16-inch barrel, 12-inch, 11. Oh man, we have slayed some big animals.
Yeah, we've shot some shit with it.
And it is hard. It's interesting because I've watched hunting shows for a long time, but now doing some of that, it is so difficult to consistently get good footage. It seems like it would be easy, but things happen
It's not.
on hunts so quickly. And, trying to get all that footage is nightmare. I mean, it's tougher to get the footage than it is to hunt.
I mean, to be honest, me being a guide, I hate cameramen and love cameramen at the same time. Like, I feel sorry for them because their job is so difficult. They've got to be there, and like everyone sees this footage and it's like, oh, that's perfect. It worked out so nicely. No one understands how many runs you had to do. Not talking replays. I'm saying like how many stalks got screwed up when a cameraman's got to he's been paid to be there, so he's got to try and get the footage. But at the same time, he doesn't want to cock up your hunt, and he's sitting there, and he like, oh man, the animal's right there, but I need to get that footage, and if I don't, someone's gonna rip my balls off. So the poor dude's got to try and stick the camera up and film over your shoulder, and then the sun's at the wrong angle, and that animal's there, and the next thing it's just looks up, she gone. And it's like I turn around, and it's like, oh no, I just check his Sony sitting there, and the cameraman's eyes are all. But so I hate him in that time, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, I understand.
Yeah.
I've never really had to be a cameraman. I don't really want to be, but they've got a tough job. And the footage everyone gets, and it's like so awesome, and it's they wish they could have seen this, and it's like, dude, you don't know what the situation was. Like,
yeah, now watching, I have a whole different perspective going on several filmed hunts now, and when I watch these hunting shows and they get the perfect angle and shot, the prep work that must go into that.
Well, I've been on some of those hunts, and trust me, we've had it where you walk in,
aggravating for the hunter, I'm sure.
Well, sometimes, the hunter who's got this, he's trying to make this perfect video. And I've been in situations where you walk in, whatever it is, whatever animal. I mean, I've had it on an elephant before, where you walk in, and then it's like, okay, there it is, like, smoke it. And no, you can't. The cameraman's not ready. And it's like, you got it. You ready? Yeah, he's ready. What about you? No, he hasn't got the right angle.
Yeah.
And you don't end up taking the shot. It's like, guys, like, put yourself towards yourself type thing. And, I've had it where you go back to a spot the next day wearing the same clothes, same time of day, so the shadows are right, the sunlight's right. You go back to the same spot the next day and reenact the whole thing.
Oh.
Because, whereas...
I don't want to do that.
We've never had to do that. I mean, it is what it is. Like, the footage is there, and you make it work.
I think it's like Q in general. It's authentic, and that's the way we should be filming the hunts. I do think, especially after going to SHOT Show, a lot of the hunt videos have made people take notice of the cartridge. Yeah, I mean, that kudu video is, I mean...
The one which kudu? The one that just sat in the...
where it went over backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, where... because even in that video, you can't tell how big that animal is. Right? We weren't able to get that. That happened so quick, and we're just fortunate to get any footage, really. But, I guess in that video, we didn't put any pictures or anything of us next to that animal. But, that's the size of an elk. And
it's not a small animal.
No, it's a huge animal. Put that back dive of that kudu up right now. Oh, that was so good. That was, I remember, it's always the things you remember about the hunts are never the things you would anticipate. But what is most memorable about that particular hunt to me was Thomas's reaction when I shot that and that thing flipped over
just
backwards.
Just like did a backflip.
He had never seen that before. And, and that, I mean, to me, that was a good indicator of how that video tells the story of 8.6, what you can do with those, fast twists.
Well, I mean, I've obviously seen a lot of animals being shot, a lot of big animals. And what that 8.6 does with that fast twist, I mean, the best part about it, I love Barnes X. Like, your triple shot, love it. I mean, in my awesome backup gun, my 458 lot, I have 500 grain Barnes X.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. And you can always see when they petal, they always, like, go straight back. With that 8.6, it looks like it looks like a fan blade. You know, it's like
Yeah,
twisted. So it's the cutting edge of that thing is phenomenal. I mean, you look what it did to the eland, what it's done to buffalo. I mean, it is.
The roan's a big animal too, and yeah, we smoked 4 buffaloes with it. Yeah,
I mean,
we don't have roan footage, or do we?
No, it happened too quickly. Like, yeah. But I mean, seeing what it's done to buffalo, going through a shoulder, breaking that shoulder bone, and going right and sitting on the skin on the other side. I mean, that's what you want a 375 to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know the engineering behind it and how you guys figure all that shit out, but whatever you've done is right.
Oh.
Because it operates.
It's cool. And I mean, it's cool to hear from you. You've seen so many animals shot, and big animals, and you're right. I mean, the buffalo, because I've told the story on here before, that first buffalo we shot with it, where that thing, snuck up on us 9 yards.
Yeah.
And we had to get after it. And that, first shot, and he took off, and then I put that other one in when he was going away right behind his shoulder, and then he turned to charge us, and I busted him. Yeah, that front
your
shoulder.
Third shot.
Yeah, he jumped in the air.
That third shot, if you hadn't bust that shoulder, we would have been in a world of shit.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
It was going to.
You would have started shooting too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna turn things up. Go ahead, and I don't know where we were.
It's not one of those psychologist things where you show me like pictures and I've got to be like butterfly or anything like that, is it?
Everything looks like dick to you, right?
No, other way around.
You look like a dick to everything.
Apparently. Pull yourself towards yourself, man.
I'm trying hard, trying to get right, man, but I feel like tickets. What the fuck was that other thing you did?
She gone.
All right, so who's your favorite client?
The dude that's in like brackets, Kevin, at the bottom. Yeah.
Why do we have so much fun hunting?
Because we don't take anything too seriously. We do what we want to do. Like, there's no set agenda. And that's the best way. It's like, and the best part is, I think a big part of it is, you're coming back. So it's like, if we don't get something done now, we'll do it next time. And half the time, you don't have your dope. You've forgotten your suppressor.
Hey, we don't call me out on here, all right? That's not what we do. So that's for Reddit. Leave that shit in the comments, bitch, all right?
It's not a real place.
Yeah. I don't fucking care because it ain't a real place. Yeah.
Well, we just...
Because if there's anything I say, it's Rad Robertson, or Rad Clifford, if you will.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah.
Not the Dave Chappelle special.
Not the Dave Chappelle. And Rad in Africa are just good times. The best times. Oh, it's so wonderful. You idiots need to go. It's affordable. They're going to take great care of you. Any fear that you have is irrational. You fly the airport, they're there to pick you up. Everything's handled. It's so easy. The food is great. The people are wonderful. The most incredible scenery. And it is so affordable to hunt plains game in Africa. And people don't realize it.
Yeah, they don't. But, it's we're going to, we're getting a message out there, and in about 8 months we'll have 2 or 3 fixes there with good optics on them. And, if guys are watching this and they want to fix real bad, but they don't want to travel, and they want to hunt with a fix, we're going to have a bunch of them in camp.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, hey, there's a reason that Roosevelt and Hemingway wrote about it changing their lives. Like, it's you coming here to America, and it's wonderful. We get to hang out. I'd rather us be in Africa.
Well, I think that Africa allows you the freedom.
Yeah. It is interesting to think about that, because this is the live free or die state in America. Allegedly we're so free. I definitely feel greater freedom in Africa than I do here.
There's different compromises. I mean, you guys have everything that works over here, but over there it's backwards a little bit. But
yeah,
you have the freedom. I mean, you know what it's like when you're out there and you've got 300,000-400,000 acres and there's not a cop in sight. You don't have to worry about the IRS busting your door down or something like that. It's freedom, You can chop and change your mind. It's not like you have to be in that area today or we can do whatever we like.
Yeah, I think you're really hitting on something, because a lot of the things that I think as Americans, and easy for me to say being pretty spoiled, and maybe I'm the right one to say. It's most of the stuff that provides us comfort here is so unnecessary. And Thomas, is since Jay's not here because he's like holed up with some woman or something, who knows? But like being over there, the mild inconveniences that occur, it's just so insignificant. Like we have electricity, running water, and fucking freedom. I mean, it is. I mean, there's beautiful views. I mean, when we get over there, like, I think the one thing you and I talked about missing is probably the only thing was, like, women. Like, that was, like, it. Other than that.
Women and pizza. That's what
pizza. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got to get Kuda making us some pizza over there.
Maybe we can hook that up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to build a pizza oven at my place, like one of those outside ones.
But that was the thing is it's a trade-off, right? For those small inconveniences, you're just in full-time adventure mode, and nothing compares to it around here. Like Jay and I are always joking about it. I've been over there a few times, and coming back to Exeter, New Hampshire, it's hard to look at for about a week or two.
It actually makes me feel like a dumbass. Like, why the fuck am I living here? Like, these kids are ruining my life. I'm kidding. They're never going to listen to this, so I don't have to apologize.
But that's the thing, though, is also as you get out there, you can go hunt on a ranch in Texas and go do whatever you want to do. And I'm not taking anything away from it, but you've got cell service and your phone is operational. So you're out there, you're sitting in your box blind or whatever it is. You still got service. You can text, you can get an email from work. You don't actually completely shut down. Whereas you come over there, and when you leave the lodge, it's bye-bye to any service, anything. You literally can just shut down and focus on what's in front of you. You have service, you're sitting there, it's like you have a look at the view. You do this.
I agree with that.
You go out there, it's like, well, fuck, I don't have my phone. You can't like sit there on Insties or anything like that or Snapchat and shit. You out there, you living it and you enjoying it.
Being fully immersed in the moment, which is so hard to do and so hard to find in today's day and age.
And that's it.
Yeah, being fully engaged, because it is interesting. Like, you guys have that cell tower on top of the mountain there. So we have that one spot on top of the mountain where you get cell service. But, that's on something that's half the size of Rhode Island. And then it's like you're at the lodge and you have Wi-Fi. Other than that. And it's so nice because, I think for me it started with I'm really never able to disconnect from work, and I don't think that's unusual. But I think in Thomas, well, I mean, you'll understand to some degree, but in Rad, you don't have children, so you won't. But it's like once I had kids, like I can never completely shut down and disconnect from everything. Like it's so impossible. Like Aiden earlier, he and his girlfriend going to get us sandwiches, and there's freaking snowing here, and they're driving 2 miles. Like, I'm worried nonstop until they come back.
Oh, it's understandable.
I know. That's why those little shits. I'm so glad they're becoming adults where I can be like, you're your own problem. I'm not even going to worry about you anymore. I'm sure it can never happen. But it is great. You're right. If you're in America, it's so hard to get, like, if only hunts that interest me in America now, I still love whitetail hunting. It's great. I love seeing whitetail deer.
Awesome.
But I want to do Alaska.
That would be epic.
And like real elk hunting where you're disconnected and you generally don't have service because you're, out for a couple of weeks in the mountains. Like that I'm interested in. But the rest of hunting here after going to Africa, it's not just how beautiful it is and the culture and the people. Like we all talk about these things. I love those things. And it's so different than just the ignorance that us as Americans think about Africa. I mean, it is so incredible. And yeah, but to get me to go on a hunt here in America now, I'm like, yeah, I don't, what? When? Is it free?
No, there's a lot of stuff, but I mean, it was also awesome. It's also like, watching the progression of 8.6 and obviously now literally the best trigger ever made. It truly is. I mean, like just feeling that thing, I almost feel like it's a paintball gun. You can just sit there and just Axel Braun that shit, you know. But having all the engineers out, you know, when we had all the guys come out, it's pretty awesome when you get to go out that when you think of something or an idea, you can't act on it immediately because you've got no one to text or like, hey, let me phone Jimmy from engineering and you can give me an answer, and you actually get to think about it, and you sit there the whole day and you're out hunting and you process and you throw a few ideas around, and then having the engineers there and you guys get to shoot the shit, but you're not like immediately somewhere where that you can contact someone and start making plans, and you get to actually go through it. And watching you guys do that and having all that, I mean, and last night seeing Mitch and Nick and Drew and the boys again really was epic. And
the parts that I remember.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good memory.
Yeah, I did.
If you had seen yourself at 1:30 a.m., man.
I can't imagine. Like, judging by my room when I woke up, I can't imagine what was going. Well, I mean, I don't know.
It was messier than a horse handbag, I promise you.
Oh, I know I must have been.
One of the nicest things to be able to catch up with you guys is when you have a really good time like that with someone and you like your crew. I mean, you guys have had some awesome guys over that first trip you came on with Ray and Danny and the boys, and it was awesome. And then, then Field Ethos had a few guys come out another nice trip where we had Pat Hemingway and John Hill and them.
Oh yeah, and that Cole Hauser.
Yeah, and then we had you come out again with all the engineers, and then obviously Jose. Jose. If he's watching this, shout out. Disappointed not to see you in New Hampshire.
Did you see this? So when speaking of that, well, I want to say a couple things. It is interesting. Like, that trip changed the lives of all the engineers, and it's so cool. You get to be a part of that, and you're an integral part of that. So now, it's thank you. So now, like, these guys, they love you like I do. Now you've got like, you know, real friends that you've shared these incredible experiences with, not just guys you go, you know, that you meet at the pub and have a beer with. These are guys that you got to experience something that was life-changing for them, and you were part of it. So they could not wait for you to get here.
Oh, man, but they're just good guys, and it's chatting to those guys and seeing them, and like, to be honest, when you first pulled out the fix at the airport that very first time, I looked at that thing and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like it's a chassis. It's got like this, it looked like a one of those, what do you call it? Like an outline, like one of those pencil.
Panty peelers?
No, man. No, that's the Axel Braun. Oh. But like a stencil, like the outline of the, I looked at this guy and I'm like, what the hell? And then I saw like the folding stock and then the, you know, your hinge that you guys designed, and then having the guys that made this thing, except for, you know, Ethan wasn't there, would really enjoy it if he was there, but, you know, having the other guys there and having the guys that actually developed this thing, it was freaking awesome. Now I understand it, and I can't wait to get it. I know you guys think like talking about the fix now is boring because you've covered it, but for someone like me, we don't have that in Africa, and I can't wait to get it over there. I mean, I've had so many guys that actually follow you. I mean, you saw Chris Proster's kid.
Yeah.
I mean, a 13-year-old kid or 12 years old, whatever he is, in the middle of Africa, following you on Instagram is like the fix. I had a buddy of mine reach out. I was like, how the hell do you know about this thing? He's like, dude, do you not know what that gun is? Yeah. Now I do.
Remember that Chris came and brought his kid from like a few hours away, and he just wanted to meet us and see the gun. And so then we went up to his place in the mountains there, and his kid got to... He shot a Steenbok.
Steenbok with it, yeah.
And what are those little...
Dussies. Yeah, the Rock Rabbit, yeah.
Shot those. Yeah, he had a great time. Yeah, it's so cool to see. But it really is different. And being there and being around a lot of you, and you have traditional rifles, and then I have my little lightweight gun, the stock folded and slung, and I can shoot real quick and kill everything. I prefer it. I think it's an improvement. But speaking of Jose, so when I was thrown out of advanced armament, I had a office that was about twice as big as this podcast room. And, it was decorated similar. There was stuff everywhere, skateboards hung up, a bunch of art, stuff people would send me. And so the Remington losers, what they did was they auctioned off all of my personal stuff to the employees. Like, how douchey is that?
Well, you did break Remington, so.
Yeah. Well, I like to think they broke themselves. I didn't push them down the stairs. I tried to say, hey, we shouldn't.
You just threw the banana peel on the floor so they could slip and fall.
Whatever. So, So this was hanging in my office. Somebody had painted it and sent it to me. And so Jose apparently, this is like 12 years ago. 10 years ago or so. Jose bought this. And now I've had several of the employees that got things from the office, skateboards, whatever, send them to me now. And so Jose sent me this painting. And this is the best part. He didn't even realize it was upside down, I think. But after all these years, you can have your emo shit back. Jose.
He's such a trooper, that guy.
He's the best.
He's awesome.
Oh, God, I love Jose.
Oh man.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, but what a great time. I mean, for me, I understand like choosing your lifestyle because like just, I'm even getting jaded over there, but I feel like I'm still in love. But, like seeing Jose or seeing Nick or Mitch and catching up with those guys every evening and seeing how they just couldn't believe it and how grateful they were to be there and all these great experiences. And, and for me, getting to take those guys over there and share it with them. But like you get that opportunity like every week with people. And I'm sure there's some clients that probably aren't as awesome as us. But yeah, what a great time. Man, I could just go on forever about that. What's up, Thomas?
So speaking of you doing this every single week, does it ever get old for you?
It does get old sometimes, but it's generally it's like everything. It's not where you are, it's what you're doing. It's who you're with. So I'm very fortunate with the guys that come out with us. And we have some fantastic clients. And everyone's different. Some guys are a little bit more monotone and this way, that way. But you do occasionally get the odd guy and it's like watching paint dry. And you can see the biggest bushbuck or the biggest, everyone knows how much I love a bushbuck. And you can see this monster and it's just like, it's just like limptic. Just, it just, that gets old. You got to think about 10, 12 days with this guy and sometimes it's just, he's got a great personality and your personality doesn't gel. But Andrew's very good at like meeting people and talking to them. He's pretty good at lining guys up and matchmaking, client and PH. So I've got to admit, like, it's very seldom that I get bored. I mean, Kevin and I did an entire month together. We did 2 weeks in Mozambique, then came down. We did the rest of the hunt with the guys. Kevin was meant to go home with the guys, and he extended by 3 days or something. And that was awesome. Like when Kevin left,
was not happy. I'm telling you, that extension. So we were together 31 days. In like our
who said I wasn't happy?
The second day hunting in the Winterberg Mountains, Rad had such an attitude that I said, "Stop being a dick, or let's go back to the lodge." We were stalking.
I had an attitude, and the wind was fucking howling. It was like being in Casper, Wyoming at this time of the year. It was howling. I'll take drizzle, rain, thunderstorm, cold over windy.
He was missing his lady.
I was not. I got Pornhub. But when you got that wind, like, just panel beating you from the same side, and it's just coming in, half your brain on this side, it's just like windburned, I get the shits. And I'm allowed to get the shits. I can't be a fucking angel all the time.
I don't think that literally means the shits, Thomas. I think he means he's
grumpy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
we were literally like, I mean, it'd been, it was like over 110 degrees in Mozambique for 2 weeks. And I mean, we had our asses kicked there. And then
Kevin had his ass kicked there. I was fine.
And then, and then in South Africa, and then I was going to go home, and I'm sure Rad was like, "Oh, I can't wait to rest a little." And then it's like, "Hey, let's go to the mountains and hunt for a few days." And we're like, after this little fucking Stenbuck that kept outsmarting us, who basically unofficial number 2 in the world. But we're like crawling up this mountain. This little fucker's watching us, and Rad just gets all grumpy with me in the middle of this crawl, and I'm like, Take me home.
I
I'm not
wasn't.
dealing with
He's talking such shit. I wasn't grumpy with him. I was grumpy with the situation. And then I speak my mind when that's the case. You know,
Oh, it is.
I
it
do.
is great.
But honestly, when we did 31 days together a month, and
Had a great time.
I could have
Oh
done
my
another
God.
month. But there's some guys that after 2 weeks, I'm like, time for you to go home. Like, I just want to panel beat the shit out of him by the end of it. Like, press my buttons, or it's like watching paint dry. It's just It's just like, just get the fuck out of here. Like, just go home. But
It is.
that is very seldom, though. That
Well,
is not very often.
I will say about Rad, like, I wish you had been there to video him when I shot that Sharps Grace buck in Mozambique. Because out of the tiny 10, that's probably the toughest or one of the toughest to get.
Oh, yeah.
And you rarely see them, and when you do, it's just like a streak. They just like run by, and when we were actually checking lion bait, and it ran across in front of us and just stopped long enough for me to get out and shoot it, and you would have thought that Rad won the lottery when I shot that thing. Like the reaction and having a PH that. It's like the famous story with me and Mike Murphy and Jason Vincent about the fallow, where he and I are, trying for a couple of weeks to find a good fallow deer. And then we're just sitting there and Mike just sees it. And he's the only one of us that saw it. And then Rad, shoot that fucking fallow deer! It was just like having someone that gets that excited that you hunt with. It's just a next level. It makes it so awesome. Like, I cannot imagine if I had missed that grace buck or not shot it.
You would have walked home. And there was lions everywhere, and well, not everywhere, but there are lions around. There's elephants. I would have made him walk. I promise you, I would have been so grumpy.
But it was. Everyone was so excited, and I think relieved when we finally shot the lion. But that grace buck, it just makes it so much better, and I appreciate it. Like being out with someone who, that's your job, and maybe you don't like your clients, and I don't know, like maybe I'm high maintenance and tough to deal with, but it's having someone that you hunt with, and that's their job, and they get that excited. Like you would have thought he shot it. It was so good.
I knew we were going to get the lion. It was just a matter of time. We were going to get lion. I was never nervous about that. But that grace buck was, and the big thing is shooting the grace buck during the day. They're very nocturnal. So being able to see one during the day, and they are really tough because where his ears come up, quite often at the front of their ears, they've rubbed all the hair off. So this, you can see the skin. It sort of goes like black and dark, and the horns don't sit in between the ears. They sit like in front of the ears. So it is freaking difficult to see if he's got horns or not. So it's like he's got to hopefully turn. If he's looking straight at you, you've really got to focus because you can cock it up.
Yeah, the horns kind of go right. They're black, and we'll post a picture now, but right where the front of that ear is, and like 1 inch horns are huge on those things. It's a tiny animal, so. It was he and another PH were looking at it. I get out, I've got the gun up, and I'm just waiting for them to say shoot it because I can't see if it's got horns or not. And they're both with binos looking, and finally Rad's like, shoot that fucking thing.
I was cool, calm, and connected. I was like,
he's like,
shoot that thing.
Excuse me, Kevin, would you mind shooting that thing?
And don't miss.
If I had missed, oh my
boy.
Lord.
Because I've been talking about this thing, and it's one of the very few places
he was
that
so
I've been.
excited when he said we were going to go that we might have a chance to do that. And I was like, who cares? But
I do.
yeah, he did.
But, we had John with us, and John Forsyth is another guy. He was filming the hunt, and but also great dude. And luckily, he was sitting in the back seat. So when we were busy looking, he was behind me. He got a slightly different angle on it, and he just saw something. He's like, I think it's got horns. And then it turned, and then I got a little visual of it. And I was like, okay, Kevin. And the big thing with those as well, he had the 8.6, and that's a big bullet. And it was like, one thing he got told is do not shoot it through the shoulders. Like, just make sure you shoot it behind the shoulders, like in the ribs, because of the pure shock of that bullet will. And Kevin listened to me that one time. and he didn't blow it to pieces. And yeah, we got it. It was freaking awesome. And we got like the most epic pictures because where we shot it, it drops down into a valley behind us. And that valley that it drops down and that you can see, about a mile and a half up that valley is where we ended up shooting the lion.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were actually going to check those baits where we ended up
we
shooting.
had three baits to check. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. You're right. Where we shot it down that hill and in that valley, and there's that the river and the rock face right there. Oh, it's so cool. I mean, you know, after going to their property, it's like every turn you make on the mountain, it's more beautiful than the last. It's just, it gets stupid after a while. And then it's just like, why in the world do I live in Exeter, New Hampshire? Damn kids.
Yeah, not outside like now.
Hey, this is a real snowstorm, Rad. You're welcome. Yeah, remember last year though, on top of the mountain there at Crusader, we shot blue wildebeest in the snow. You were so cold. God, I've never seen you be such a baby.
I've got bad circulation in my feet. So I got to wear like thermal socks.
It was cold.
And I can't fit thermals in my Courtney's because it's too tight. No. I'm going to get myself a pair of them Baffin boots.
I don't know those.
So when I went to Canada in 2015, then I got this insert. Looks like it's space blanket type stuff. Minus 50. I'd be wearing that outside here now if I could.
You know, one day we were doing a podcast and a bald eagle landed right there where my truck is.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember seeing that. It flew past me.
Flew over here. Thomas saw
I
it
thought someone said something and you were just trying to like divert from the conversation. I'm like, that's sneaky. That's nifty.
Yeah, no, a real bald eagle right there. I bet that fucker's not out flying today. Or not here. He's somewhere where it's warm.
It's fossilized now. It's sitting there just
frozen. Yeah. Oh, so many great times that just last year. How many? We spent 2 months together last year hunting.
Yeah, at least.
And then just last year, oh my God, the experiences. The lion hunt was so epic and so interesting, and I got to learn so much. And I was just so fortunate that it was you and John and Alex, that I had the three of you guys, and Kidmore with us, who has been a tracker
got some
as long as you've been alive.
Yeah, no, he's a machine. And Kidmore,
yeah.
Fortunately, you never got to meet and spend some time with Gezan.
Yeah,
that is
the big guy.
He's a big dude. He's a giant.
I met him.
You watch that guy. He takes a 44-gallon drum of diesel, the back of the Land Cruiser, and grabs it, and stands up and literally puts it down.
Is this Mozambican that
he's actually
it looked like a strongman competitor, just a huge giant man like Judson.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I saw him a couple times. He was funny as shit too.
He is a funny guy. It's quite nice because when I worked in Zambia, you learn to speak this, like, they called it Chilapalapa up there, which is like Fana galore, which is a mixture of languages from Shona and Ndebele, Gova. There's a whole bunch of different languages they mix in, and it's quite nice because I can communicate with them. Where Kidmore's English is very good.
Yeah.
Those guys were good. Their tracking abilities, all of them. Kidmore, Gezan, Nicholas.
Yeah. Remember, Thomas, we were so we had 3 trackers with us at once on the lion hunt, and when Rad and I we were tracking this buffalo. Rad found this fresh lion track. Now, I've told the story probably in the podcast already, but where they tracked it for probably a couple miles, these lions, and then where we split up. You remember that? And Kidmore told us to go follow the 2 younger guys, and it was like this thicket, and we knew we were close to the lions, and I'm like, oh my Lord, Kidmore, don't go alone, man. But remember those kids? They were like leaning over, tracking, and all of a sudden both of them just fell backwards and started walking backwards. Like they walked up on 3 sleeping lions, like 20, 30 yards from them.
Yeah, they had the reverse crab crawl.
Oh, and it was so funny because they were like 15 yards ahead of us. So we stayed, and eventually we were so close that Alex made us back up like another 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah.
But it's funny. They reverse crab crawl or
crawled
back to us. But then I remember like a minute later, I look to see where they were, and they were still doing it like 100 yards behind us. Like they were never closer than 100 yards to the lions the whole time after that.
They've seen some shit.
Yeah.
What's happening there? You're busy fiddling with that orange paper. I can see you.
Oh, you want me to ask you another one? Okay, here we go.
I didn't ask you. I just said you've been twitching with the corners there. I wasn't sure it was cutting.
Dude, I'm struggling today, all right? This is Struggleville. So bear with me, all right? We can't all
It's
be
actually quite nice when you like
fucking
us. You're a little
units
bit
like Rad Robertson.
just rad. But anyway.
Radcliffe. Your mama named you Radcliffe. I'm going to call you Radcliffe.
My full name is
Radcliffe Stevens Burglar.
Cocked it up.
What is it? I don't
Radcliffe Stephen Struan Robertson.
Struan. That's the one that gets me because it sounds German,
Struan.
like a real word.
Struan. Struan.
Struan.
Okay, just flip the piece of paper.
Oh, okay. So when I come and I'm a guest on your podcast, then you boss me around. All right. So that's the way we're. How much is it for a hunt in Africa, for a basic plains game? You've never been. You want to get the African experience.
So my advice on something like that is do it out of the summer holidays, because all your tickets to Africa over your summer holidays, June, July, August, expensive because everyone's traveling.
And it's winter there, so
it's winter with us. It's your summer. It's your north, south. You know how it works. Equator in the middle.
Yeah, there's one of those.
Yeah, it's north, south hemisphere. So we're in the southern hemisphere. So book it out of it, like early in the year or later in the year. A lot of guys conflict because they don't want to come September, October, because that's when hunting in North America starts taking place. But tickets are cheaper then. And you come out, let's say you choose a couple animals, choose like a kudu, and then some of your smaller stuff, black wildebeest, blessed buck, springbuck, mountain reed buck, warthog. I mean, you can shoot with your day rate, and your day rate gives you, obviously, all the booze you can drink, except for like Kevin and the Field Ethos guys. We've got a little container, like a little shipment, and it's got to come in specially. We almost broke, and if you guys didn't shoot animals, we would have like broken even. Anyway, running off topic here. But your day rate covers all your food, your lodging, laundry gets done every day, guide, vehicle, all that sort of stuff. I mean, you can shoot 5 or 6 animals, and sometimes more, and you can have with your day rate and everything like 10 grand. You think you shoot a kudu for, what is it, $1,400, and then a warthog for $450, $500. You can.
Yeah, I think you can literally go over there, including your plane ticket, for under 10 grand for a week and a half.
Yeah, come do 7 days of hunting. Plane ticket, if you can get it for like $1,500, depending on the time of year, to $1,000, depending on the time of year, and your guide and everything like that. 7 days, 10 grand. You have a really good time.
A great hunt. You can have a great. When you think you spend 10 grand in America to shoot any decent whitetail, if you got to pay, mule deer.
You look at some of those muley hunts now, they're running 15, 16 grand.
Yeah, you can't shoot an elk for 10 grand. Anything like this. And it would be worth it going over there for that price just to shoot the kudu. But it's so amazing, and people don't understand. Like, part of what makes it very special to me is, if we go on a mule deer hunt, we're going to see mule deer and maybe the odd and end occasional animal. But there, we can go hunt a kudu with you guys and see 20 or 25 species of animals, big animals, tons of animals everywhere. It's just such a different experience that, we know if we go on a deer hunt, pretty much what's going to happen. Hunting in general is exciting because you don't know what's going to happen. But, I was just hunting with my buddy Ben, shout out to him, in Alabama. We have a wonderful time together, and we sit in a blind and hang out and, have some beers and watch deer. But, we know we're either going to see a pig or we're going to see some deer, or that's just it. It's not like you and I, where we turn the corner and there's a jackal, there's a Valry buck.
Yeah.
There's, kudu, there's bush. Just the warthog like prancing around everywhere. It's just so fun. It's such a different dynamic. But yeah, I think the cost. is just makes it so much more attractive, and you don't have to wait till you're old and have retirement.
No,
money.
everyone thinks you've got to have a pile of money, but you don't. I mean,
Nope. No, it's the average dude can do it. What'd you think of the honey badger after you finally got to shoot it?
the honey badger,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm tossing my Daniel defense. But I actually don't have one, but I just always wanted to say that.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. Like, I don't know where to start. It is all like too overwhelming. Like the honey badger and just the different silences and the different lengths and I couldn't believe, like, I just always thought it was like a plink around play, but the accuracy of that thing. I mean, I had that little aim point red dot on there. I mean, I was hitting the gong out at 100 yards with that thing.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
So
and
fun. We had to sweep up
yeah, I should buy
brass
a case.
in the cabin yesterday. Rad shot, I don't know, you must have shot at least 1,000 rounds.
I don't know, but we lit some shit up.
Yeah, it was so fun.
But then, the honey badger was awesome. But then when you pulled out the 8.6 gas gun, man, that's something special.
Yeah, it's going to be a home run.
Because you don't have access to guns like that.
I mean, we can. I mean, we can. You can get a Smith & Wesson or a Ruger, or I think it's the DM4, which is South African. I think it's called that. Don't quote me. I've never really been that into it at home. I've always wanted one, but it's I've just sort of been trying to get my normal rifles up and running, and then this slick dude came into our lives and he's opened things up, and I've picked them up. Like we had the R1, R4, the R1's your 308, 7.62 military stuff, but it's just big, cumbersome, heavy thing. Then you come on this little honey badger, it's this tiny little thing, and it's a freaking killing machine, and you just play with, not necessarily to hunt with, just play with. But now we've got the 8.6. That's no longer just like a plinking play around. Like, I've seen shit die with that, and having that, I don't know. Honey badgers, like, I want both. I can't choose. If you've got if there's a toss up and you're sitting at home, like, just figure out what you want to use it for. If you just want to mess around and shoot the occasional hog with a thermal, cool. The honey badger is epic for that. I don't know what we're going to call the 8.6 or what you guys are going to call the 8.6, but when that comes out, it's going to take the market by storm. I mean, that thing, shooting that prototype yesterday was just, oof.
The Rad Robertson.
It is like, that's a game changer. And
It is.
I promise you now, when you hear that bullet, whether it's a subsonic or supersonic, especially the subsonic, when you see that thing hit a plate, that half-inch steel plate shits itself. I mean, it just gets the crap knocked out of it.
I mean, you've seen all the stuff die with it. You've seen almost everything I've killed. You've been a part of it with the 8.6. I think what we're going to do sometime later this year is Dave Stark from Discreet Ballistics, who...
I'll watch them. Yeah, I'll follow them. They've got some good stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to come out and shoot stuff with you with subsonic 8.6. So to do the final...
Hearing that bullet, I mean, if you've got the drop and you've got your everything set up and the clarity, you know what you're doing, jeepers, hearing those plates get hit yesterday, even that washing machine. I mean, I wish there was Tenorite in it, but anyway, hearing that washing machine get slapped by that bullet with a subsonic, it's serious.
Yeah. So we'll get to test, the expanding subsonic bullets and see what we can kill with them. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, man.
All right, let me ask you some of these before I take another nap. Oh, Jesus. It's not you, Rad. You're incredible. I went too rad last night.
I feel like a little bit incompetent, yeah.
What's your favorite animal to hunt? Smart ass man.
Are we talking plains game? Are we talking dangerous game?
Oh, one of each. Plains game. What's your
Bushbuck.
Bushbuck. Yeah, we got a pretty great video of that. That's exciting hunting.
I just like bushbuck because I know. Faraday is pretty cool, but Faraday is not exactly, you won't see it on our price list because it's not indigenous. But they got bought over 100 and something years ago, and they've done really well. Like, Faraday is awesome. But a bushbuck, it's just, I love Eland and the Farley, but they've all got their certain, Eland's always good fun, and, we had good fun at the Farley.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We've had some, especially when Stitch child the drone, we're shouting at Thomas and telling him, like, pull up, and Stitch is my dog, mauled the drone. It's not as funny as when Nick got hit by the drone, but it was a good time.
Was it you or you flew it to his face?
Oh, yeah. Slap bang.
Yeah.
But bushbuck, without a doubt. Just sneaky. It's kind of like your whitetail.
Yeah.
And
I agree. It's like
it's just nifty. He's shy. He's camouflaged. He's just an elusive animal. And he's wounded, he's no joke either.
Yeah, got a couple of spears on top of his head.
Yeah, every year guys get injured. A couple guys die. Dogs die every year. He's nifty, he's sneaky. It's just fun to hunt. And I don't give a shit if he's 16 inches or 12 inches. If he's old ram and it's fun.
Yeah, that's the most fun. It is. I enjoy getting to that place in my hunting life now to where, that's what I want to do. I love when we shoot like something old with a broken horn or.
Well, look at the Farley and that mountain reed buck that we got.
Oh, that mountain reed buck. Jeez, post a picture of that thing now. It's the oldest animal I've ever shot.
Yeah, 2 stumps on this thing.
Oh, and that was so great too because you see my trip before I wasn't very prepared, but this last trip I was ready to shoot stuff and did all the proper preparation, had all my dope. It was just ready.
And we had suppressors.
Suppressors made it so much better.
No thanks to moi.
Thank you, Rad. Yep. No thanks to Christine, but Rad hooked it up. So
and Christine's busy dealing with all the other shit that you've caused.
No, don't give her an excuse.
Christine's also watching currently, so it'd be nice.
Christine.
That's what I'm saying.
She's
I'm on Christine, Team Christine.
I love Christine.
I would as well. If I were you.
Yeah, she takes good care of me. But having the silencers. But we made some incredible shots on this hunt.
That Blessbuck 900 and something. There was the 22-inch fix with that awesome Leopold on the top.
Yeah, 950. I don't even think it's in the top 3 best shots we had on this hunt. To me, the Stenbuck shot was good. I was proud of myself. That shot was good. Remember, it's like right when you were getting bitchy, and then I was kind of like, I was kind of spooning that rock. And remember,
when I moved a whole bunch of stuff to make sure you were comfortable.
I don't remember that part.
Okay.
But that shot, remember, he was just peeking out around the bush, and he was so small. I was 100% confident. Yeah. And it must not have looked very comfortable because you were wanting me to like move and go prone.
No, I just wanted to make sure because I've seen you make other shots similar to that, and with an animal like 12 times the size, and you've cocked it up. Anyway, so you did make a good shot. I'll give it to you. You pumped. It was perfect. And same thing with the Steenbuck, same as like the Grace Buck. Don't hit it through the shoulders and blow the thing to smithereens. It's a tiny little animal, and you made a brilliant shot.
Thank you.
I'll give it to you.
That and it's good teamwork too, because you remember that first, like I'd been shooting. I shot good on this trip. We shot a lot of animals. We must have shot like 30 animals that trip. I don't know. But
was that excluding the culling session we did?
Oh yeah, excluding that. So I guess altogether I shot like 100 animals. But the
you never shot that many animals on the culling part.
No. I felt like I did. I felt like I was going total random.
Your shooting out the chopper was pretty subpar, but okay. If we'd had the honey badger with a red dot, oh my man, we would have smoked some shit.
I think we had some good teamwork when you weren't being a shit. Like the
one day when the wind was annoying me, now I'm a shit. Wind your neck in.
You wind your neck. You're gonna get cupped.
Don't make me come over there.
I'll fly kick you over this table.
To piggyback off that last question, what is your favorite hunt been with Kevin? Like your favorite one animal hunt?
Jeez, like that's a tough question.
It's like 100 animals.
I know. The one where we shot that big farley in the Stormberg, not the one horn with the picture. That was pretty cool. I mean, the wind was pumping there. It was far. It was not easy. We had to leopard crawl. We had to get into place.
This is so funny because the question I was trying to ask him, or that I was trying to, the thing I was trying to say was the teamwork. Like once you have a good PH, you spend time together, the teamwork. And I was going to, this was the hunt I was going to talk about because I've been shooting great on this trip. And this was the last couple of days and we're trying to shoot this one folly and he was smart and they live out in the open. They have great eyes and they stay up on the mountains so they can see everything. We tried to get on him the day before and he sprinted down this mountain, ran across the valley, and went to a different mountain. I mean, he just like fucked right off. But that one, yeah, we had to leopard crawl down there and everything, and we had like a 20-mile-an-hour wind. So I'm shooting high angle, and I'm shooting up on this rock ledge, and Rad's with me, and we're just like in this basin sort of, and the wind was coming straight at us, and the folly is down here on this side of this mountain, and like my dope was good, my shot was good. When the shot broke, I felt great, but I shot over it.
Well, the wind was coming straight at us, but then where the farley was, because it wasn't this valley that sort of tapers up, where the farley was, looking through the spotting scope, the wind was slightly different. So we had like a,
yeah,
and trying to judge what the wind's doing, 60,
And how far that was? I think it was over
400 and.
I was thinking this one was like 550, and the other one was, I don't remember it, but it was far enough where we had a high enough angle, and the wind was coming. We had accounted for the angle, but we had such a strong wind, and when the shot broke, it was a good shot, and I shot over it. And you hear in the video Rad correcting me, and I saw the impact, but he's beside me, and I want the confirmation that he saw the same. And, I adjusted and shot, I aimed instead of, being on his shoulder, I aimed like 6 inches below him on that second shot.
Pummeled him, yeah.
Drilled him. That was just great teamwork. Like no one panicked. We saw the shot, you correct. Because if anybody thinks you're going over, and we hunted from, everywhere from basically the desert to the mountains in this month. All different terrains, we were freezing in Winterberg, and we were, almost died of heat strokes in Mozambique and everything in between. But to be able to work together like that and correct and make that shot, it was another advantage of silencers. At that distance, the animals don't know where the shot's coming from, so you have the opportunity for a follow-up shot. But if you think you're going to go and do all that and you're not going to miss or make a bad shot, you're out of your mind. I mean, if you're only going to shoot stuff inside of 100 yards, maybe you could do it, but doing the things we're doing, no.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's but that's where we've had the advantage. We've been able to, and it comes back down to your 12-inch fix, to the 16, to the 22. We spoilt enough that we've got all those options, and, having them in the back seat, and it's like, this is going to be a poke.
Yeah.
Get out, whip out the 22-inch.
Yeah.
There you go. So
it was cool that we knew at Mozambique we wanted to test out.
Geez, but Mozambique was hot. You should have seen Kevin. He was like sweating like a gypsy with a mortgage. He was like fucking panicking.
I go hard in the paint. So that was a rough one. All right. Well, that we knew we were going to get after it with 8.6, so I had that 11-inch barrel. We got the silencer on there. But then when we wanted to try to cull some stuff at distance or go to Winterberg, to be able to, that one afternoon, just pop the scope off, the top rail, handguard, take the barrel out there on the bar, put the 22-inch in there, the longer handguard, new scope on there, and step outside and zero that thing, and then 1,000-yard range that you guys built for us that we got. And we could go confirm dope, all the way out to 1,000. And then we're in, the Winterberg Mountains the next day shooting, little tiny technical animals at 500 and 600 yards. That's just awesome.
Well, I think This was my favorite one. No, unless you change the scope.
No, that's not the one.
Is that, you had that 16-inch 6.5 with that vortex on it. I think it was a 1-10 and no turret or anything. You had the reticles. Yeah, that's a quarter-inch gun.
Yeah, it probably is.
Oh, I mean, what, that Black Wildebeest at 5.35, whatever it is.
36. Yeah, you weren't with us, Thomas, but we were doing some culling, and it was just me and Rad. I don't think we had anyone with us. It was just me and you?
We had Desmond running up on the hill there. Or Whitey, yeah, because you could drive.
But, yeah, with that 16-inch fix 6.5, because Rad will never shoot, and I tried to get him to shoot some stuff. Since we were culling a bunch of stuff, he was getting, like, all horny about the fix after, he saw me and Jared shoot the blessed buck far. But, yeah, just with the 1-10 vortex, a 16-inch 6.5.
It's a tech driver.
My man drilled a wildebeest in the chest at 5.35. And, just slayed it, smashed it.
Oh, yeah, just went down like
laid right down. What else did you shoot? You shot a blessed buck with it.
Also a blessed buck, yeah.
Yeah, that gun's good.
Well, then at Chris's, with that wind blowing and everything, and I off the smoked one of those little a Dusty, and no one thought that it had like literally, it had like 3 inches sticking up out of its hole, and
it's like groundhog.
Pummeled it.
Yeah, you're right. You said you hit it, and I was looking. It was so far too. I was looking with binoculars, and I thought you skipped it next to it, and went down in the hole, and we get over there, and you're like, "No, I hit it," and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't see anything." And we get over there, and it's just laid out, dead as hell. That was cool. Yeah, that was a good shot. Yeah, that gun's good.
They shoot. I'll give you that much. They shoot.
Yeah. Oh well, bush buck? What's your favorite? Because we're going on an elephant hunt here next month. So what's your favorite dangerous game? And have you done all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I would say each one's got something different to offer.
Yeah.
Like, let's start with like leopard. I enjoy the leopard hunting. I've never done leopard with dogs. But I've done baited leopard. And the thing about leopard with bait is he's so intelligent. A leopard is, and like a crocodile as well, like extremely intelligent. Like he's so shifty and shady. And cause remember, a leopard is not like a pride animal. He's by himself.
Yeah, I'm glad you're telling the story because I've tried to tell it from what I've learned from you and Alex when I was over there on the hunt to explain like why leopard is sort of the apex of that kind of hunting. And I'm not sure I did a good job, but yeah, this is what so tell the story.
He's a shy animal. He's shy. Like a male leopard, if he gets injured, let's say he goes in and tries to be a hero and he gets smoked by a bush pig or something and gets cut up, he hunts by himself. Alone. He's a lone rider. So it's not like a lioness gets gored by a buffalo. She can limp along and follow the pride and they kill a zebra and she can get in there. She's not necessarily going to get the best rump steak, but she'll have something to eat because they look after each other. Whereas a leopard, he's all alone. He's got to stay away from hyenas. He's got to stay away from lions. He can't afford to get hurt. And
because all the cats hate each other, don't they? They don't.
Yeah, I mean, hyena scraps with everyone. He's like a Conor McGregor. Just won't get on anyone. Just causes shit wherever he goes. Always wanting to fight. So not necessarily wanting to fight, but he's there. He's just like yapping in your ear the whole time. He's just like that old lady with that like a yapper dog. But so everyone scraps each other. Like a lion and a leopard will sort of stay away from each other, but they do end up scrapping. But a leopard with the baiting, it's not just like sling a piece of meat in the tree and wait for a leopard to come along. It's like you got to, where's the water? Where's their thick cover? What does the wind do in the evenings? Where's he going to approach from? It's a lot to it, and setting it up so that you either are, your branch has got to be right.
Yeah.
So you got the right angle, you got a silhouetted shot. It's because often it's like last light. So that's what I enjoy about leopard hunting. They're trying to outsmart the cat.
Yeah.
And making sure. I mean, I know guys have done it where they've got walk-in blinds or the leopard, you've got a blind set up and he walks in behind that blind. The guys build a dummy blind where leopard comes in behind that blind and you hear him. Oh shit, you busted. So then they go and build a blind even further back. So yeah, there's things like that. It's outsmarting that thing. Lion's a lot bolder, but it's a lion, you know. And you saw the runaround we had. And the nice thing is we never had to sit in a blind for that lion. We walked in, we tracked them, you know,
Thomas, I mean, I can't tell, like, lion is very bold and brazen. And at 15 days, it's interesting to see us as, you know, the five guys hunting it. You know, Rad, John, and Alex, PHs, you know, and Kidmore was with us. And we were driving into this site because about a quarter of a mile from the bait site, like one day, 10 feet off the road, there's a lioness laid up against a log with her cubs. You know, like, you get killed if you walked in there like that. But the 15th day, you know, we though it was so hot, the lions weren't staying on the bait like they normally would. And we're trying to get this done. And we knew that we had a lion on camera, the one that I eventually shot, that we wanted. You know, an old one that was scarred up, who is no longer the pride male, had his ass kicked. And, you know, didn't want to shoot one out of the pride. And we walked in. We snuck in, went around the back of this mountain, like through this path. And it's so interesting. Like the first day, if you guys had asked me to do that, I would have like pissed myself. I would have been so terrified, you know, after seeing lions the first time. And you're like, holy crap. Because it's not necessarily like the male lions are generally, as we saw when they woke up and we'd stalked them, they'll run off. But like you got a lioness with cubs on bait or just near it. Like she's just gonna fuck you up. And we walked in, and you know, so that, to me that was interesting because it was like we got bold like the lions. We got to get this done, and we can't drive in there in the truck. They'll fuck off just far enough where you can't shoot them. And so us sneaking in there, and the whole time I am like, you know, I'm in the middle of this line. We're walking in there, just creeping in behind Kidmore, and you know, I'm looking for lions the whole way, and we go up on this ridge. And I mean, I remember it. So I hugged Kidmore first, like after I shot it. We're walking through there, and we see near a bait site, we see a lioness, and then and everything. And then Kidmore spots this lion that we were after walking away and going up the side of the other hill. And we had to get set up. That was so cool because remember the only place on that whole hillside he could hide. He didn't even know we were there, but he went and laid down right behind this tree, and we couldn't see him and had to wait. But, oh, man, hearing him roar. Like hearing that leopard with the, ooh, ooh. I mean, that was so cool to hear that sometimes there in the evenings. When
that leopard sawing, yeah.
And then the lion. I mean, it doesn't even seem believable.
Gets into your chest cavity.
It's like 200 yards away facing the other way.
It just, you vibrate. So lion, that's the reason I like hunting lion. Like, I haven't done lots of lion, but the ones that I have done, that's why. And then you get to like elephant. Elephant there's many different ways. Some areas like you can track them.
Yeah.
You can track long time. You know, it just depends. There's no set way to say that this is elephant hunting. Sometimes a lot of it's spot. Like in Botswana and some of their flat areas, instead of tracking elephants all the time, they've got the setup on the back of their Land Cruisers where they can stand up and hold a bar that folds up. So, you know, where you're sitting on the back of a Land Cruiser and you know where your head height is, they'll be standing at, you know, their feet will be your head height, and then they'll be, so they're getting like way above the Land Cruiser, and they can spot elephant far away, and they walk in.
Well,
the thing about elephant is that personal thing of getting close.
It's such a huge animal.
Yeah.
Because I would assume that's the way we would hunt them in Mozambique, where we were. If we had the privilege of shooting an elephant there, would just be you ride around. There were so many elephants. You just find, like we saw 5 or 6 that were awesome.
Unreal.
And then you just have to try to get after them that way.
Yeah, spotting them, especially when there's a group of bulls together, spotting them is one thing.
getting close.
Getting in close enough. And for me, it's pointless getting in there and shooting an elephant from 50 yards away. That's not why you're doing it. You know, if it's wounded, for sure. But your first shot, it doesn't appeal to me at all. You want to get in that 20-yard range. And every PH has got different, so I'm the authority on it, and everyone's got different opinions as to how they want to approach it.
Sure.
Some guys want to get maybe 12, 15 yards. I don't feel comfortable at that distance. I just think there's just so much can go wrong and go quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a 15-yard, 20-yard. I like that distance because there's a little bit of time to play with. Something happens, you know. You can shuffle, take a step here, take a step there if you need to. So, but it's getting close. And I mean, when you see elephants far away, it's like, oh, you're a big animal. You walk up and you're 20 yards, 15 yards away from the elephant, and it's standing freaking 11 foot of the shoulder. That's a big animal.
That I know the two elephant stories or encounters that we've had together that stand out to me were, I think I said it on a podcast before too, but the one where we thought maybe it was dead.
Lying down, like how fast that thing can get up.
So Rad spots this elephant lying down with its back to us in this like thin timber. I don't know, maybe like 30, 40 yards from us. Like it was close. And so Alex threw a rock towards it, sort of. But
it was a terrible throw.
It was terrible. He should be embarrassed. Alex McDonald from McDonald Safaris. If anybody wants to send him a DM about his throwing arm,
he's not paying for the Red Sox. That's for
no. But he just to see if the elephant would wake up, and of course it was loud. But to watch an animal, seeing it lying down, it was just different than when we were seeing them walking around. But that thing leapt up like a cat. I was stunned and shocked at how fast a fucking elephant jumped up. And then it was so close. I mean, we just like scared the shit out of it. It was sleeping. And we wanted to make sure it wasn't dead or injured or anything. And it jumped up. And that's where I realized, like, to me, you say 11 feet at the shoulder. Like, to me, it seemed like it was 3 stories tall. And then I'm like, I'm scared. Like, these are just little trees, and it could run right through these things and smash us if it wanted to. And then I wasn't so scared the second time. That was a big elephant that we startled. But the second time, I think I told that one too, where we're on the river and we came back that night, and the elephant, that little cow elephant with some adolescents, came up over the hill close to us, and
one of the skew tusks.
Yeah, and we see the two. When I saw the two trackers jump over from the back of the Land Cruiser over it and ran, I was like, "Oh, it's getting serious." But I thought for a minute you were about to shoot an elephant.
No,
Mock charged us a couple of times, and it was like, I wasn't scared because you were there with a gun. I mean, I don't know. When you told me to put my drink down and get my gun, I thought, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, you just want to be because you've seen the pace that they can move at, and
fast.
If you sit there all blasé and
because they look slow, but they're not. They cover ground.
Oh, they cover ground fast, and it's one of those animals, and it's the same as following buffalo or wounded buffaloes. Never get complacent. When you start getting complacent, you're like all chilled with it. That's when shit goes wrong. Like I saw this thing, and I'm like, there's a 99.99% chance that nothing's going to happen. But don't take it for granted.
Mock charged twice.
Yeah, she got close.
Yeah.
And it was like if she
when you started yelling at me, I knew it was serious. When they jumped off the truck, but sometimes I've seen them overreact to some things. Like, Thomas can testify to Desmond climbing a tree and whatnot. But man,
second animal ever being so. I understand. Don't worry, I'm with you.
Well, that was interesting. So I can't wait for the elephant. I think that's the one I'll actually be scared on. Like the lion, like any cat, makes me a little nervous. I think it's just a little part of my brain, like they can just like
cat. They remind you of woman. They're like it's shifty, it's shady. It's like you can get hurt.
Well, especially when you see a lion, and it's different than like a cougar or something that's gonna like
hiss at you.
Yeah, or even get a hold of you, and it's not like they can't kill you, but like a lion could literally slap your head off your shoulder.
You saw a lion's skull. I mean, literally just bite you at the top of your head and just go,
or just slap you. I mean, when seeing, you see like a mountain lion, and it's horrifying, but it's not like the thing's gonna slap your head off your shoulders. I mean, it's gonna bite you or cut you up and stuff. But like a lion could literally like a big grizzly, it could just like knock your head off. I mean, its forearms are this big.
Yeah,
it's amazing to see. Well, it's. I think that's the appeal and the interest of the dangerous game hunting is getting close.
Yeah.
Because I think, after I remember Thomas and I were in the airport leaving after we did the first buffalo with 8.6, and you and I shot it at 9 yards. Like it was close. But that's kind of what I was expecting, and that was the cool part of that hunt to me. And we were at the airport, and there's this guy probably my age, a couple years older, and he's all like, got to go on his dream hunt he's wanted to do for 20 years, and he tells us he shot a buffalo, and and I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. And he's asking us a lot of questions, but and I asked him what he used to shoot it with. I think he had a 375, and I was like, how far did you shoot? And it was like 120 or 150 yards. But I wasn't going to say anything about mine. Thomas couldn't help himself. He's like, we shot one at 9 yards. But I thought the same thing, like 150 yards.
Yeah, it's like going to shoot a Black Angus in South Texas or something.
I mean, to me, it'd be like taking a gun to like a MMA fight or something. Like, what? Like the beauty of I think the dangerous game is that it's dangerous, and there's no danger in shooting one at 150 yards.
He also shot it out of a group, like it was
a
herd.
Yeah.
There's some places where you don't get those Duggar boys, but you get a pile of bulls in the herd. So you got like northern Mozambique in the swamps. That hunt is physically challenging. Like it's you wading through water. It's hot.
Ugh.
It is tough. I mean, it is. It's a different type of hunt, and if you want to shoot a buffalo close there, you can. Like you just got to get in between the papyrus and the phragmites and all of that, and you can work your way in. And guys do that. I mean, they shot a pile of stuff with bows, and there's some magnificent areas up there. I mean, they really are. I mean, there's some fantastic areas up there, and but yeah, they don't get like the Duggar boy herds. They never have to split away. Often Duggar boys, everyone says. And some guys.
So Duggar boy is that means like mud.
Duggar is mud, yeah.
And so that typically refers to an old
old bull. But everyone thinks that a herd of bulls, and there's some old bulls in there. Everyone's like, oh, okay, this old bull's being kicked out of the herd. Buffalo is one of the only animals that the bulls don't get kicked out. I mean, when it comes to breeding, he may get thumped by another bull to breed a cow. But in a big herd of 300, you'll have 10 bulls in there breeding the cows. I've seen it where there's a herd and you'll see like 3 different bulls at the same time mounting cows. They don't get kicked out. They move away on their own accord, because, and I know this where I've seen, and I remember seeing it in the Zambezi Valley when I was working in Zambia, and I've seen it in Hoedspruit, where in the Baluli Conservancy, where we also do some hunting. For 3 years in a row, I saw a bull in a bachelor herd 3 times, and over 3 years, seen that exact same, and it was the shape of his horns that you couldn't mistake him. We actually had, in the 3rd year, we actually had a client who shot him, but I saw him 3 times in a bachelor herd. But I also seen that exact same bull in the breeding herd. They don't get kicked out. They move out on their own. And quite often they move out because a herd's got to travel big distances. When you got cows and calves and you got 100, 200 animals, whatever it is, they have to cover distance to graze and get water and enough food, especially when it starts getting a bit tough. It gets drier months. With the bulls, you get them, and there will be some bulls that stay with the herd, but then you'll get some bulls that are pretty clever, and they move out, and they form a little bachelor herd, and then they live close to water, close to food. They don't have to travel far, and they put weight on, and they bulk up. Come breeding season, they're back in the herd, and there they are, servicing the old lady. And that's how it works. So that's the whole the buff. I don't even know how we got into the subject.
We're just talking about the I think just the dangerous game. What's your favorite? And then just the. I mean, I think where you went off on these tangents is interesting.
The
questions that I
150
should have
yards.
asked. Like, what's what's unique about each one and what makes each
Yeah.
one desirable or interesting to do.
Well, yeah, you're talking about that guy shooting at 150 yards. Some places they shoot out of a herd because they have no option. Like they don't find bulls on their own.
They can't find.
Yeah, because
you typically don't want to shoot out of a herd, right?
You
Because
don't.
it can be more dangerous. And then if you wound one, like finding that one once
Exactly.
it goes in and shooting it and not making a mistake and shooting the wrong one.
And a big thing as well is disturbing and
Pushing
upsetting
the
the
herd.
herd.
Yeah.
You know, if a herd's in your area, bulls are in your area. But like those places in Mozambique where they sometimes do, you get clients that physically can't get closer or can't spend any more time out there, and they end up shooting from 100 yards away. But they got so many buffalo there, they're never shooting out the same herd all the time.
Yeah.
They do, but it's not like you're pressurizing two herds 24/7.
Yeah.
And those bulls, because there's so much water, there's so much food, that those bulls don't ever have to leave the herd.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, buffalo, every situation is different.
What about? Well, let me ask you about this because I know this because I want to ask you some dumb American questions.
Okay.
But with some of the hunting, so we don't, and I kind of went into what I've learned from you and Alex about not shooting like a lion out of the pride and how you want to shoot an older one and how there's a lot that goes into it. We saw so many lions before we actually shot one.
So, yeah.
But with elephants, so I learned this, and I didn't know it until I spent time with you guys. So if you cull, like you have to cull elephants. Like it's amazing in the destruction that the elephants do. And people say those sorts of things, but seeing it firsthand, it's like seeing, anything else that's kind of unbelievable. But we watched elephants almost every day. We would see elephants push a tree over, eat one branch, and walk away, like a 60-year-old tree. And then you would see areas where the elephants travel a lot to where there'd be 100 acres where there's not a tree that's not broken or knocked down. Like every single tree it was. So like that habitat for all of those birds and animals and cats and everything else is destroyed now.
Yeah, so this is a subject that, you could do an entire podcast just on this subject, and it's one that frustrates not just the hunting community, but anyone that's a conservationist.
I can imagine after spending so much time there and knowing a lot of the indigenous people there at this point and meeting people from the communities and where they're putting up fences and stuff to keep elephants away because there's so many elephants and they destroy their homes, they destroy everything that they're growing, all of their fences for their cattle and their sheep.
The corn.
And people don't understand. So like I think part of the American ignorance is we think Africa is upset with us and about hunting or whatever, but all the indigenous people in Africa, like they have no fucking use for lions. They have no use for elephants other than food. Like they hate them. And they need the population managed, and they want us to come there and shoot them. Like all they do, like I learned on that trip, it's like all the communities, they just snare and kill all the lions because, if lions find this where they're raising cattle, what easy food. Like the lion literally has all of its food in a pen. All it's got to do is jump a little fence, go in there and kill a cow, and then it's got food. So the indigenous people are snaring these things and killing them, and
poisoning them, all sorts.
Yeah, and they get nothing for them. And when we were on the hunt too, remember they flew the helicopter in because there was an elephant that had a snare on it, and his foot was all swollen, and they darted it and got the snare off. Yeah, I mean they should have just shot it. There's so many elephants there. We could have shot 50 elephants on that one piece of property and not noticed a difference.
That's the. We do trophy hunting,
and
you also get non-trophy hunting and non-exportable elephants. But it's got to the point now where Southern Africa as a whole, South Africa, you just take Kruger National Park, for example.
Yeah.
They've got the last figure I heard of, and I may be mistaken, so don't quote me, but it's at least 12,000 too many elephants above carrying capacity. 12,000, and then you've got southern Mozambique.
People, like elephants are huge; they eat a ton. They're very destructive.
Well, an elephant has the most inefficient digestive system. It's got not like a buffalo or something. It's got a ruminant. It's got 4 stomachs. It goes from here to there to there. I'm not a vet, but I understand it. An elephant's got one giant stomach. You see those older bulls where he'll just take an orange and just bite it once and chuck it in. Or marula fruit. They usually roll them on their molars. But you'll get elephant shit where, I mean, it's a freaking thing like this. You can literally break it open. You'll find a marula fruit. It has not been touched. It hasn't been rolled on a molar. Nothing. It's just whole. You could literally wash it off and eat it. And they are taking a dump every 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. They're just eating. A big elephant bull will consume 500 pounds of food a day. 500 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, you start thinking about when you say carrying capacity, how much land you have to have for that. And think about it, 500 pounds, and we would see sometimes
that's a big bull. I mean,
200. Well, call it 300 pounds. We would see 200 elephants in a day.
Yeah.
So you start doing that kind of math, and it's
you look at the Kruger National Park when it was formed. Look at their canopy trees. Talking their big acacias, their marulas, their, you ask any of those guys that have worked in Kruger, any of those. I mean, then there's some brilliant guys there. Even the greater Kruger, which is Klaseri, Timbavati, Baluli, Imbabat, you look at the canopy trees. What's happened to them? The Botswana, for example.
On the property we were on, around you and Alex saying that 5 years ago,
I've seen
where we
the
had
difference.
that one big lake and where we had a bait near it, and that you guys said you used to park under those
Destroyed.
shade trees and
There's
have
no
lunch.
trees there. It's just
there's no trees.
Shooting the elephants that we shoot is great for helping the community out, and they get the meat, and then obviously money that comes in, and then all that money goes back to making roads, anti-poaching, all that sort of stuff. But what needs to happen is they need to cull elephants, and like Kruger National Park needs to cull, and when you cull.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to get to, because I didn't understand this about culling. Explain, like, when you cull elephants, how you have to do it.
So, I mean, I was fortunate enough when I worked in Zambia to, the guys that I worked for had done culling in the past, so I learned a little, and the Zimbabweans had the best system. There was a guy called Clem Kutsia, he was brilliant. And the guys, it's not it's not like a SWAT team coming down. The guys used to have 3 guys. You'd have like a left flank, a right flank, and a center. Right. And when you do this, you find a herd, and they'll have a plane like a super cub or something flying, and the guys used to wear hats with orange on top, and everyone have radio comms, and they fly above. Now this is back then. I don't know if there's any sort of modern day culling at the moment, but this is in the 80s, I think, wasn't it? They shot 36,000 elephants in 6 years. Is the numbers that I was told by a guy who was involved, whether he had his numbers right or wrong, not 100%
so
sure.
6,000, so 20 elephants a day, basically.
Yeah, if you do the maths. But I mean, the biggest herd they ever shot was something like 98 elephants in one herd. So you go in, plane flies, finds a herd. Okay, guys, you need to move here, you need to move there. And basically they get the direction the herd's moving, and they set it up so you got the guy in the front who would be your point man. Mm-hmm. So he's center. And then you got a left flank and a right flank. So you form a triangle. And you wait for the herd to move in. And it comes in. And back then when they did it, each guy had a 458. And you would shoot. So you waited until no one could shoot till like point man shot. So he would wait till the elephant gets
Makes
here.
sense.
And then as he shoots, then the left and right flank will start shooting. And you've all had 458s. And then you had gun bearers behind you that were carrying FNs with 308s, 7.62. Shoot the outside
so the
elephants,
FALs,
the big elephants.
Military gun.
Yeah. Shoot your big elephants with the 458 to get the penetration. And down they'd go. Then you grab your FN. And then
So you shoot the whole herd. And
the
you
entire
start,
herd.
You start,
Everything.
You start with the big bulls.
Well, not necessarily the bulls. It's often big cows.
Yeah.
I know that back then, if a big bull, see, bulls move in and out of the herd. He's not always entirely with the herd, so it's not as a traumatic experience for a big old bull as it is for the cows who are a family group. They're extremely sensitive, so you can't just go shoot a couple cows and
you got to kill them all.
All of them. because this whole thing of shooting at like 4 or 5 cows, it's traumatic. I mean, I'm not saying that I like it, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
So you go and you smack the whole herd. Big elephants first with your big calibers, and then you just
you do that. I mean, unlike a lot of other animals, but you do it because it's so the elephants are so sensitive to it and it traumatizes them.
Yeah, they're highly intelligent. I mean,
is this when elephants like get traumatized like that, or the ones that go bananas and like?
Yeah, you can have. I mean, everyone's got different theories and stories about it, but you don't want to encourage that. You know, you don't want to go and shoot the big elephant cows, and those youngsters they smell a human, or they go no, they're highly intelligent, extremely intelligent animals. So you want to go, and it's like, would you rather have, you got your family, would you rather like have your wife and then pick one of your 3 kids that dies? If you had 2 or 3 people die in your family, you'd be traumatized. You'd rather just all go out together. I mean, it's a pretty hectic example, but
yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, the elephants, I mean, they actually mourn. They mourn, other elephants in their group and their herd dying.
So this isn't just like a theory that you've seen by one group that does the culling or yourself. This is like widely known and accepted in Africa. Like that's the way you cull elephants.
Yeah, I mean, and there may be different techniques now, and different ways of doing it, but that's the way the way that I know of. Some guys may disagree with me, but it's the whole herd. I don't think you'll find anyone that disagrees with that theory. So how to shoot them, people may have different ideas, but the entire herd is, I would bet top dollar that 99.99% of anyone else who agrees with the culling will agree that
they understand it.
Take the whole herd out.
It's so interesting because like raising whitetail and having a farm where I did that, when you talk about culling here, that's very different. Like a whitetail, you just you pick whatever you don't want and you just shoot it.
Yeah, elephants.
That was interesting to learn about that with elephants, and also seeing it's so crazy that we don't encourage. We're just so ignorant to it. I mean, Africans have to be very unimpressed
frustrated
with Americans.
Pissed off. Like,
with the elephant,
people sitting
or you
so
can't
far
bring
away.
the lion. Because you think like people say, "Oh my God, how could you shoot that lion?" And it's like, well, why aren't you mad at, like, it's stupid, first of all, like understanding conservation, but why aren't you mad at the local community, the village that snares them and shoots them in the head or poisons them or and just throws them in the ditch? So now I go over there and that's like we had a lot of people supporting us on the hunt from the local community, whether it was the trackers or the maids, the cook, everyone. And, understanding that my one hunt is half their money for the year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is.
Over a lion that they would kill if they had the opportunity and get nothing from it.
If it pays, it stays.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at, everyone wants to like, and it's the emotional attachment to the whole hunting thing. And a simple example is rhino. Rhino in the Kruger National Park they were put there. They came from like KwaZulu-Natal. Yeah, they were there, but they got reintroduced there. The numbers got boosted. So how it happened is just a very rough example. I mean, I don't know the full details, but in KwaZulu-Natal, the farmers were approached and were like, hey, they realized that the numbers were declining and was like, hey, do you guys want rhino? Cattle ranches and whatever, like, rhino. What the hell? Why do I want a rhino? One rhino eats the equivalent of 3 cows.
Yeah, I mean, and because you don't understand, too, until you see them, how big a rhino is. It's
a big animal.
It's closer to the size of an elephant than a cow.
Yeah, so they went back to the drawing board, and then they reapproached the farmers. And it's guys who had hunting operations as well. And they were like, okay, here's the deal. We'll give you rhino. If you look after these rhino and then their population grows and they get to a sustainable level on your size property, we'll give you permits, legal permits, to shoot and export those rhinos. Game farms overnight.
It is interesting.
And that's how the numbers came back up.
It's so counterintuitive if you're just ignorant to it or you don't hunt. I mean, for you, Thomas, never being involved in any of that, to think, I mean, I assume this is what you would think. It's what I would have thought. that, yeah, you wouldn't think that hunting is the real reason there are any animals left in Africa.
Yeah, it was a huge learning experience, like listening to all these things, and like, cause like even now that I'm like after coming back from these hunts, you know, I've never been on, and none of my people, you know, in my friend group and family do any of this, and they all have these like preconceived notions of
It's the
like
same way, such ignorance. We just don't know.
And then now that like even like some of my vegan friends, right, my like hippy dippy like friends whom I love, right, and they respect me, and they. Like when they say, "Oh, you're gonna do," you came back from the hunt, whatever, and I give them the business. You know, I give them the information that I had received, and it changes their tune. They're like, "Oh, I didn't think about it like that. I didn't," you know, and it's a real thing, and it resonates even with people that are stuck in their ways, like even in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I mean, because you and I have a lot of things in common. We love art and, you know, both creative and market, all those things, but we're also very different, you know. But I grew up like you. None of my people did any of that, and I was just exposed to it, and I was just ignorant. I didn't know. But I don't think there's any way you take a sane person over there and take them on a hunt and you see the full experience. Like, there ain't no employees of Crusaders who work there doing the fences, the cattle, sheep, any of that are not stoked when we're there.
Absolutely,
because they are getting to eat better. I mean, they get to eat the meat. You know, they're making more money. It's like it's wonderful. But yeah, just understanding that in places where they don't have hunting, they probably don't have many animals.
Kenya,
so
Kenya,
the animals are all gone now.
No, there's places that got animals, and no one wants to use it. Like, everyone thinks that they can do it differently. You get these anti-hunters and whatever, and they never want to use Kenya as an example because they think that, well, it'll be different this time. It never ends up different. You've got to be like bloody Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates rich to be able to fund. And you can't fund the whole of an entire country if you shut the hunting down. Like, and the thing is, anti-hunters is that I've got no problem if you don't like hunting.
Sure.
But understand that hunting serves a purpose. So you don't have to kill anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's being dishonest. Like, you're just having an emotional response.
Look what's happened. Prime example. Look what happened in Kenya. Look what happened there.
What happened?
Well, I mean, they stopped hunting, and all those hunting areas it's not farmland. I mean, they've still got national parks, and they've got these NGOs that are involved to keep certain, some places going. But a lot of those hunting areas are
spending all the tax dollars to try to, preserve some animals that hunting dollars would do a much better
for
job
free.
At. Yeah, and it wouldn't be taxation on the people.
When you look in Tanzania, some of their there's pressure there, and guys give up hunting areas. Well, then you get cattle moving, and they start felling trees and cutting and making charcoal, and then you've got little agricultural crops coming up, and
so then they're killing the animals.
Exactly. So literally you'll get anti-hunters that will protect animals to death. They'll protect them so much that they end up dying, that they don't have the funding. And it's very easy to vote on something, or, you have these, these forums and anti this. And then you think you've done your part by shutting Botswana down.
I know.
Elephants.
So like I would get and I've gotten less hate. I mean, I get a fair amount from the 25 anonymous dudes online hate, but I got less from hunting than I thought I would get. But I was able, even online, because I'll respond to or engage like anything. I don't give a fuck. And some people, when they say, "How could you do that?" Like shoot a lion, I said, "Well, okay. Here's the actual real story."
Yeah.
So
they don't know
this. There would be no lions in this area because the villagers would kill them all.
There were none. There used to be none.
Yeah, and like hunting, so it just seems so counterintuitive that the real conservation is from hunting.
Well, I mean, there's some unbelievable. You look at Zambezi Delta Safaris, for example, Mark Haldane, and he's got a few partners, but you look what he did. He went into Mozambique and the Catadas, which is the swamps, Maramua swamp, near Maramua. And they went in there in the 90s. It was like 2,000 buffalo there. 70 sable. There's over 2,000, 3,000 sable there now. There's over 22,000 buffalo there now. Where was that an NGO? Was that the government?
No, I mean, people thinking that the government
was hunters.
Yeah, I mean, it is ridiculous when people want to make laws that the government do it, because like, what the fuck is the government good at?
Nothing. Taking your fucking money. Don't even get me started. Let's just stop that right there and just divert from the whole government.
Doing the conservation. Well, it's so aggravating to me because understanding, like for me, I've grown, like growing up here, Thomas, you probably felt the same way. Like we're the stupid kids growing up here. Elephants are at the circus, at the zoo, see them on TV. Elephants are so cool. They're so cute. They're so nice. They'll put the beach ball on their trunk and do the shit. But it's like elephants are fucking horrible. Like you go over there and you see the destruction. And now, like with me loving hunting, like I can't wait to go on an elephant hunt. And not because I'm angry at an elephant. It's like I love that hunt. But I hate the elephant because like I love all the other animals.
That's the thing.
It's like, oh, well now there's no leopards here because elephants like knock all the fucking trees down.
Look at Chobe.
There's no kudu because they don't have a place to hide. Like it sucks.
You look at the Chobe National Park, right? No,
yeah.
That's Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana,
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that park. That's a photographic, no hunting. Go and look what the elephants have done there.
Oh, isn't that where that sign is that says something about the trees? Like at that park, it says something about, there's a plaque on a fence that says something about these trees. You know, there's over 5,000 of these trees and blah, blah, blah. And where that plaque is now, you can't see any of the trees. The elephants have knocked them all down.
I remember seeing that. There was some...
Alex showed me that.
But I mean, that's prime example. Now
and it was like some like rare tree in Africa, and this was the biggest population.
Might have been in Kruger.
And they did...
There's a photograph in Kruger, I think, coming down. But it's...
Yeah, and there's none of those trees left anymore because the elephants are overpopulated and knocked all the trees down.
Elephants have got their place.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. And I love an elephant. But what I don't like is the emotional factor attached to an elephant. Buy your greenies, buy your anties.
It's ignorance. I mean, you imagine in America, like as spoiled as we are, if there was shit roaming around here that could push your house over. Like it wouldn't take too long when a car gets turned over, your house is smashed before those same Karens are like, shoot those fucking elephants.
Exactly, but stop, being a couch pirate. And what annoys me is these other governments, whether it's Germany or America, where the Botswanan government or the South African government says, right, we're going to go and cull 5,000 elephants in Kruger. Or Botswana needs to shoot like 50, 60,000 elephants.
That's amazing. Like you can't even...
And they want to do something like that, they get foreign pressure from an anti-hunting community.
It's so bullshit. Somebody
to say, hold on, if you do that, we're going to stop your funding for this.
This is like the haters of any kind on social media. It's why I can laugh about it, and I just think they're so stupid and such. Like you're anonymous, or you get on and you say something online, your computer, or you send a $25 check every year to some conservation thing, and it's like...
Spend $50,000 and go shoot an elephant.
Like I was gonna say, I've probably spent $1 million on conservation. So shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Like I know what most of the money when I go to Africa and hunt. I know where most of that money's going. Anti-poaching. All
helicopters.
All these things.
You got guys that come in to shoot rhino. You've got helicopters in the sky. You've got that all costs money, and it's just a story that you'll go round and round in circles with it. But I'm
with you. Elephants. It's like, and I've said it on here before. Whether any dangerous game, any game at all, it's like there are places where you and I have hunted and we could shoot 2 elephants a day and never make a dent. But there's other places where, there's not a big population of animals, and you don't hunt them there,
There's certain places in Namibia, we got because it's desert, they don't have a very high carrying capacity. But I think in a lot of places where everyone and they love to do this, when it suits them, they'll separate. When it doesn't suit them, they just lump everything into one thing, like your forest elephant going into Cameroon, Congo, CAR, those places. Yes, they've got pressure. But that's a whole nother thing. That's like, they get guys coming down from Sudan, the Sudanese, and these militia groups that poach elephant for their ivory, and then it goes wherever else it goes. It goes to terrorism, it goes to whatever.
Well, it's actually more important to probably hunt them there because that's how you can get conservation and protection for the animals.
Well, the big thing is being allowed. So the difference between they do hunt and
do they not allow you to export?
Depends on which country.
Or America doesn't allow you to import.
America doesn't allow you to do anything. I mean, it's just but other thing there is being allowed to have a conservation force. So it's expensive, it's far, it's out of the way. Those elephants, yes, are under a little bit of pressure, but they don't have massive quotas. But those are a separate category. Taking Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mozambique, Tanzania, especially Zambia, South Africa, Botswana, southern Mozambique. Like, we have got a problem. And no one wants to, well, a lot of people acknowledge it, but a lot of people don't want to acknowledge it. They turn a blind eye to what's actually going on.
Yeah.
And all those cute little animals that look like Bambi, your pushback, your this, your that, they're dying out. They are under serious pressure. Their habitat is being birds, insects, like the knock-on effect is huge, and no one wants to acknowledge that.
You know, it's because I'm not even into like wing shooting, like bird hunting and all, and I'm sure I will be eventually. But isn't it amazing, Thomas, just riding around in Africa, like the amount of birds, like that, just the species, we would see 100 different beautiful birds a day. You know, like, because you're telling me your dad is a bird.
Yeah, my dad's. I know 2 types of bird.
Yeah, ones you eat and ones you don't.
Edible, non-edible.
Yeah. So, but seeing them there, like, I don't care about birds here at all. Like, I'm glad we have them or whatever, and it's cool seeing like that bald eagle in the yard. But there, it is.
Are you sure it was a bald eagle?
It's so bald.
Could have been a crow.
It could have been. But so many beautiful birds there. Like, I became fascinated riding around in Mozambique or wherever. Just
it's stunning. Lilac-breasted rollers.
And you and John with all your bird facts, and Alex and I are like, what the hell? It looks just like the other bird.
Sacred tree bird.
The secretary bird.
The sacred tree bird. It's what it sounds like in their accent. John, we were rolling with John.
Sacred tree bird.
Hey, there's the sacred tree bird. And we're like, sacred tree bird?
I think it's been changed. I don't know if it offended someone for typing or whatever it was, but it's no longer called the secretary bird. Is there any chance that
secretary bird?
Secretary.
Secretary.
Sacred tree.
Sacred tree.
Oh, fuck you guys. It's like, you guys are the only country in the world that says aluminum. Everyone else says aluminium, and America says aluminum.